I never imagined my marriage could reach this point, the kind of point where silence carries more weight than any argument ever could. 4 years, I trusted her. I believed that even when we clashed, she would at least meet me halfway. But last week proved how wrong I was, and the ending still stuns me every time I replay it in my mind. It started with a trip she had been planning with her friends. From the outside, it seemed harmless, a short getaway, a break from daily stress. But deep down, something felt off. I couldn't explain it fully. Maybe it was the timing. Maybe it was the way she avoided my gaze whenever we spoke about it. Or maybe it was instinct, the kind that gnaws at you when something's wrong. I told her repeatedly that I wasn't comfortable with her going. Not because I wanted to control her, not because I wanted to trap her, but because something inside me screamed that this wasn't right for us. Lately, our small arguments had been building, piling up into tension I couldn't ignore. I worried this trip would push us further apart instead of bringing us closer. She didn't care. She dismissed my concerns as if they were meaningless. "I need this." "You're overreacting," she said, her tone flat and rehearsed. Then, she packed her bags in front of me, indifferent to the storm brewing in my chest. Watching her wheel her suitcase out of the house felt like watching a stranger walk away, not the woman I had married. That night, I sat alone in the living room, staring at the door she had just left through. I thought about calling her, texting her, begging her to reconsider. But the more I thought, the more something inside me hardened. Why chase someone who didn't care about my feelings? Why hold on when she had already let go? So I made a choice. I didn't shout. I didn't smash anything. I didn't even cry. I simply disappeared. I turned off my phone, cut every line of communication, and vanished from her world. No messages, no updates, nothing. I wanted her to feel what it's like when the person you depend on suddenly isn't there. Hours passed. Then the night stretched on. For the first time in years, my phone didn't light up with her name. No goodnight texts, no calls, nothing. I told myself maybe she hadn't noticed yet. Maybe she was too absorbed in her trip. But as the silence stretched, it grew heavy, almost unbearable. By morning, something shifted inside me. I didn't regret vanishing. I felt calm, like I had finally reclaimed control in a situation where I had felt powerless for too long. I went through my day as if nothing had happened, but in truth, I was waiting to see how she would react when she realized I was gone. Then it happened. Late in the afternoon, a knock at the door. At first, I ignored it, but the knocking grew insistent, desperate. My heart pounded as I approached the door. When I opened it, she stood there, eyes red, suitcase at her feet, nothing like the confident woman who had left just a day before. She didn't look like someone who had enjoyed a carefree trip. She looked shattered, terrified. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The silence was suffocating. Then she whispered, "Why did you disappear?" I studied her face, searching for sincerity, for remorse, for anything real. Finally, I spoke words I'd kept buried for too long. "Because you left me long before I left you." Tears spilled over her cheeks as she stumbled through explanations, insisting the trip wasn't what I thought, begging me to understand. But the details didn't matter anymore. What mattered was the truth. The woman I had trusted with my life didn't care enough to stay when I needed her most. Her pleas broke, her voice quivering, but my mind had already moved on. I wasn't angry. I wasn't shouting. I wasn't even sad. I was free. For the first time, I saw clearly. Sometimes the loudest betrayal isn't lies or cheating. It's the simple act of walking away when someone asks you to stay. That day changed everything. She stood on my porch, broken and begging. But I had already made my choice. I wasn't going to vanish again. I was going to move forward, without her. As I closed the door, leaving her behind, I realized something I should have known all along. Love without respect isn't love at all.